Finally underway. Just left home at a shower. Did not shave, but I had a shower. Heading towards Ohio. Let's make sure I got my passport. Yes, I do. Heading towards Ohio for a couple of days of work. I got the babies are schooling tomorrow. I want to talk about the babies today. Today's baby. The video today is about the babies. For the most part, we'll talk about one particular race last night that took place after I did last night's video. Well, get that out of the way. Stay close. I'm sure James, not very often, James McDonald wishes he had a race back right now. The way he's driving, he's winning at an incredible clip. I think he won all the SBOAs so far. Won the Jarabinsky Cup the other day with Line Drive Hanover. So James is on fire. But last night, after the night, I wanted to light him on fire. It's a good thing I went home. I think before that race. Listen, James is James. He's not going to change how his driving tactics are approaching the race because of me, right? We might joke about stuff, but I think James was of the belief two things: one, Treasure T would get him to the head of the lane, and two, he would find his way through, right? And what are the odds of that happening 2 weeks in a row that he doesn't get out? Now he's 3-5 this week, 11-1 last week. He knew the horse was good last week and kind of took it on the chin from me about not moving the horse in the last turn. But last night, he's in the 2-hole, same situation, very, very similar situation, and a very eerily similar result. Now, I guess the only saving grace, the only thing that kept him uncasted today is the fact the horse still fits that class. And he was at the barn, and I didn't want to talk about it. It went unsaid. I wasn't happy, and he wasn't happy either. But the kid's on fire. What are you gonna do? Hey, shitty job last night in the 9th. Okay, what about every other race I won? What am I gonna do? So it's just one of those things where I'm sure he wishes he had it back, but that's racing. What are you gonna do? Now, if it happens the third time, I'm gonna have to break out the driver. That's all the way it is. And I don't mean the driver. I mean from the golf bag, the driver. But I doubt it'll come to that. I'm sure. Stay close. Those two trips will help him advance as a horse. It's easy for us, but we forget sometimes. I know I do, and I'm certain you do. That was like his 20th lifetime start last night. He got hurt at 2. He had a long time in between. Sure, he's grown up as a horse, but still only has 20 starts under his belt. So, as I said, I'm certainly not trying to skirt what took place the last 2 weeks. I don't have any more control of it than you do, but a rare occasion where it just didn't work out. That's the type of trip where James does get through and does win. I watched him locked in with Nylander right before I left. The last race before I left. Rail just opened up. Boom, there's James up the inside in the winner. It just didn't work out in our race, but that's the way racing goes. So that's that. Obviously, I'm on my way tonight to drive First Glance. I said I don't think I ever drove First Glance. I trained him plenty when he was a baby, but I don't believe I've ever driven First Glance. I got the rail tonight, so we're probably going to use that if we can to our advantage. Aaron told Jason he thought he was slipping last week, so we made a few little adjustments to him to see if we can't, because he does have the rail, and I am going to be going into there, so slipping would not be beneficial to either of us tonight from the rail. Tomorrow, listen, I appreciate it. I like going to drive, but I wasn't going to drive First Glance tonight. I had to be at Northfield Park first thing in the morning because we're training all the babies behind the gate tomorrow. 13 of them going behind the gate at Northfield Park. Plus, I want Dustin Hanover behind the gate also. I want to get another good training trip into him, see if where we're at with him is comfortable. I'll be completely frank with you. I think Dustin Hanover could use a couple of pounds. And see, he's got some gouge marks out of that left hind. This guy, Johnny had asked me last night, one of our clients, my partner on the horse, this guy a project? And I said, well, he was an $80,000 yearling that hasn't panned out, shows speed. Yes, I would say he fits under the heading of project, but not in the sense where more like an Eldis Patrick than horse that's not going to race soon. I mean, we could race him right now. I would like to see him a little more kink-free, so to speak. I would like to see him a little more fluid. So the shoes we had on him last week, I wasn't super happy with them. Had the vet go over them. He still couldn't find anything really wrong with them. So back to the shoeing. We changed the shoeing up front on him a little bit again this week. I'd like to, again, go a mile and 56 with him tomorrow if I could. But that will be up to Dustin. So that's the plan. Big day plan for tomorrow with the babies and with Dustin Hanover. And then Thursday is a very important day also. We're going to train 1-2 Skip a Few in Purple Aura. Jason has talked me into racing Purple Aura in the final on Monday. They go for 30. Yes, it looks like Virgil Morgan's got a stranglehold on the class with those two fillies, but Purple Aura beat both of them last year, and I think was a better filly than both of them last year, and I think is just coming into her own again. 1-2 Skip a Few is starting to look better every start. What happens if we draw inside and he draws outside? His horses are allowed to be sick once in a while also. It is still a horse race, and they are going for 30,000, and the alternative is to race against 3 and 4 year olds, and the normal is a 2 or 3 at the Meadows or at Northfield Park, which is not going to be a cakewalk either. The difference is you're going to race for a third of the money. So he made some very valid points. So he decided together, yes, we'll race them both in the final. They're going to train, and obviously I want to school. I can school her because the last horse of my work day tomorrow is Per Lucky in the Open at the Meadows, which goes at 3 p.m. I have enough time to school Sweet on Pete. I'd like to school her in 55 or 56 flip-flops and Lasix tomorrow. I want to see a new and improved Sweet on Pete tomorrow. That's what I'm hoping for. But today was all about our babies here, right? We went with 4 sets that weren't. Those are 4 horses, so 6, 6, 5, 6, 18, 23 horses that weren't going to Mohawk on Friday. And then we went with the ones afterwards that were going. Now, the cool part about today also, Chris Rogers put our gate, remember we bought that gate that we had out a couple of years ago? But put that gate on his truck, and we put all the ones going to Mohawk Friday behind the gate for the first time ever today. That was, now I didn't get Leaps and Bounds behind the gate today because I trained her rather hard yesterday, so she didn't go. But Tailgate Buzz did, Horn Player, Crantini, Silent Assassin, Carter Michael Dio, Enzo Aguayo, Sir Strong, Spitfire Overseas, Sipping on My Shine, Austral Hanover, Cutie Cumber, and Captain in the Air. All those horses went in behind the starting gate today. We went a mile, went a little quick in one set, but for the most part we aimed for a mile and 2:20. Sir Strong and Enzo Aguayo ended up going in 2:12. Johnny got the accelerator pushed a little bit with Sir Strong, but he said he was fantastic, and right behind us was Spitfire Overseas. Carter Michael Dio made a little break going into the first turn. James said, there's a little dip in the track right there. We got to get it graded this week. It was supposed to be graded already, actually. But he said that dip, he said he just threw himself a little bit. The thing I said to James, he's not paying attention going into the turn. He goes, what do you mean? I said, he literally squealed like a stud leaving the gate. Very rare you see horses do that, but once in a while they will. And this guy, you can't squeal like a stud leaving the gate and be paying attention to your work. He's still goofing off. So he just needs a little work, so that gate helped him today. But we'll start from the top. Tailgate Buzz held off. Horn Player was flying at the wire. Leaps and Bounds and Amy McDonald were right behind us. Crantini made a little break on James going into the turn. I think James said the hobble's a little long on him. And coming out of the gate and having a horse drop down in front of him, he just got a little goofy. But he's got to see stuff like that. You won't see much of that when I drive him in Pennsylvania, but he saw it today and rolled off stride. But again, I was very surprised. He was actually very composed and behaved behind the gate. This horse has really turned the corner in the last little while. Very, very impressed with Crantini. Amy said Leaps and Bounds was very good also. Tailgate Buzz, Johnny cut it out with him, and he was very strong. I was closing in hot with Horn Player. All 4 of those horses were good. Well, no, Crantini made a break. The other 3 were fantastic today. Then in the next set, we went with Silent Assassin. Carter, Michael Dio, Enzo Guayo, and Sir Strong. Sir Strong cut it out. I sat behind him with Enzo, pounced on him down the lane, get up to beat him. Silent Assassin was right behind me, and Carter, Michael Dio, as I said, rolled off going into the first turn. But again, just being a goof. That stuff will subside very, very quickly when he starts realizing, going in 220 behind the gate's one thing. Start busting out of there 29 seconds, there'll be no squealing like a stud going in the first turn, I can assure you of that. And then in the next set, I think they got it messed up here. Because Spitfire Overseas, Sipping on My Shine, was not in with Spitfire Overseas. We had them a little messed up here. Spitfire Overseas, Sipping on My Shine, Austral Hanover, Cutie Cumber, and Captain in the Air. I guess, yeah, that's right. Sipping on My Shine was perfect on the gate, made a break in the first turn. My biggest thing was he going to behave on the gate? He was perfect on the gate, so I don't even know if I'll bring him on Friday. Austral Hanover made a little break going in the first turn, but then recovered quickly and ended up training his mile very, very good. Captain in the Air was pretty good. Cutie Cumber jogged. She was extremely good. So that entire set, the last set, was also very, very good. Excited about what I saw today and the fact that not one of those horses, not one of those 13, I guess, shied away from the gate at all. Not one. Now, Tactical Mounds didn't get a chance to see the gate today. She'll see it for the first time on Friday, but I suspect she'll be fine also. So, a very good day today. Hopefully a good night tonight. Looking at a lot of work tomorrow with the babies in the morning. Then we have Slim Jimmy and Frosty Trouble tomorrow night. And then Thursday, we have training 1, 2, skip a few. Training Purple Aura, schooling Sweet on Pete, and in the afternoon racing Per Lucky. And then I'll be coming back. I'll be coming back to Canada right after that race. So that's what took place today. That's what took place last night. That's what is going to be taking place tomorrow. So with that, I'll let you guys go. Little update for everybody on where we're at with the babies. Really, really close. You're going to see, if you want to come out to Mohawk on Friday, you're going to see 13 of our horses, hopefully 13. Now, Mohawk has said we'll have 1 pace schooler and 1 trot schooler. Well, I got 13 horses to come over that are American breds that need school. I hope they can accommodate. I don't think anybody in Ontario will be coming over to school on Friday. This is mostly the American bred horses that will be going behind the gate, because Ontario and Ohio don't start till July 18th now, right? That's not true. The first fair in Ohio is June the 10th. You might see Sipping on My Shine show up there. Little wooden head. But for the most part, those stake races start July the 18th. So there's no real rush. But Ohio, New York, and New Jersey start July the 1st. June 30th, June 28th, July the 1st, around that area for those horses. So a little more sense of urgency to get those horses over and schooled. So with that, I will let you guys go. I hope you're having a great, I guess it's May 2-4 weekend coming up. Maybe Americans, you don't know what that is. In Canada, it's May 2-4 weekend, although it's May 2-4 today. So I'll talk to you all very soon. Have a great week. Maybe it was last weekend. No, it was last weekend. Either way, have a great week. Take care.